It's time for Good Energy, and I'm Dr. Julie, and today is Bodyful Day 132. We're talking about the last day of attention and the senses. Today we're talking about the vestibular sense, moving your attention. All right, let's start with the basics. Take a deep breath in and release. Expand, 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 and tuck. And release. And think about anything stressful today and where you felt it. Did you feel it in your chest? Did you feel it in your head? Did you feel it in your solar plexus? Did you feel it in your gut or in your low back? And then take a deep breath into those locations. Take a deep breath in and release. All right, today is day 7 of attention and the senses. And we're talking about the vestibular sense. And the vestibular sense and attention is tied to breathing through the senses when we talked about cars and sleep and cars and focus. And so a lot of times we get our motion sense, because remember, a vestibular is where you are in space. And we can, again, look at that in terms of the healing equation. So energy to attend equals good energy and minus stressors. And your energy to attend based on your vestibular sense can be both a stressor and it can be good energy in. So from the perspective of a stressor, we can talk about, again, a little bit about car sickness, because that's related to vision, but also vestibular sense. We can talk about driving. So driving, focusing your attention while you're driving. And the stressor of the vestibular sense is that if you are someone who really just kind of gets lulled, like their nervous system just nicely calms down while you're driving, and if it calms down while you're driving, you may find yourself lulled into sort of road zombie, where you're like, I just went 20 miles, I have no clue what happened during that 20 miles, I was on autopilot. And that is a clear case where that vestibular sense actually acts as a stressor. Even though it's very calming, it acts as a stressor and doesn't allow you to pay attention. Now, this also can bring up, where else can you totally calm the nervous system down, where the only thing you're left with is, in essence, the vestibular sense, and that is sensory deprivation tanks. So in sensory deprivation tanks, you climb into a small pool of water that is highly salted, and so you are very, very buoyant on that water. And in the sensory deprivation tank, you lose the sense of sound, it is dark, or you close your eyes and you lose your visual sense. Clearly, you're not tasting anything, and after the while, you adapt to the sense of the salt, the smell of the salt. And so the cool thing about sensory deprivation tanks is, after a while of floating, you also adapt to the liquid feel around your body. The only sense that you're left with is your vestibular sense. So the fact that you know that you are on your back and that you know that you are floating is the only thing that's left. So we can talk about the fact that that is meant then to hone your attention in on your thoughts, or in on relaxing your body, or in on calming this nervous system. And that can happen in a sensory deprivation tank. It also can happen while you're driving, and driving is very focused. Other than that, really, there's a very hard place to find vestibular sense and attention, because we don't frequently do somersaults while we're trying to do math problems, and there's not a big call for doing complex tasks while you're on a plane. So vestibular sense, we can take it being both very calming and helping you focus, but almost too calming, so it kind of shuts you into autopilot so that you can't pay attention to what's going on. We are getting a slight burst of mist right now. So there's a little bit of cooling rain in this very hot day, distracting my attention. All right, so that is it for attention and the senses. The important thing is that the senses can be used to both heighten your attention and detract from your attention. And only you know which one is which, because you're the one who knows what is a stressor and what isn't a stressor in your body. All right, let's finish this off. Take a deep breath in. And release. Have a great day. Join me tomorrow when we start a new series. Take care.